Alright, today we're going to talk about short-term problems and long-term goals. So, what's interesting to consider, this is something I think about a bit from time to time, I think. And maybe this is also a function of getting older. So, when you're younger, you can be like, well, hey, I'll get to that someday. Or, not a big deal. Like the classic one would be investing, right? It's just like, yeah, I'll get, it's not a hurry to invest, right? Because investing takes time for compound interest to work and all that jazz. So, soon be good, but, it doesn't have to be right this minute. Retirement is way off. Like, that's not a big deal. And then you see the stats about how a lot of people in their 70s or even maybe 80s, whatever, like, they have to work to still be okay financially. They just don't get much of a retirement, basically. And it's like, well, none of them were surprised by the fact that they got to be 70 or 80 years old, right? So what happened? There's the animated movie Up. And, it's this old grouchy guy goes on this adventure with this little pipsqueak kid. But the the movie kind of starts out setting the stage where, this man wanted to take this amazing vacation with his wife, and things just kept coming up, and they just never got around to it. They just never had the money or the time or whatever. And so what's remarkable is that, like, the long-term things that really move the needle long-term, right? It's I guess the classic urgent versus important, right? Probably all of us could do more things, or could be spending our time better. I'm pretty sure I could be. That build the long-term results that we're looking for. Of course, the ultimate one is to store up treasure in heaven, you could argue. But it's very easy to let the urgent kind of supersede. And the urgent often comes in the form of problems. So, if I am working to just simply mitigate something in the present that's a problem, it's very easy for that to hinder the long-term goals. So, back to this little money thing. So, say I have, let's say I would have a bunch of short-term debt that was crushing me, or more to the point, in my situation, is I've got taxes I need to pay. If I let that completely dominate all my time and activity, and then whereas I may in the short term solve that problem, but at what cost, right? So if I could be working on a project that's long term, which I am, by the way, too slowly, but I'm working on it, to change the way my business works, to offer a different type of product, all that stuff, that long term could make a really substantial impact on the amount of time I have and the type of money I can make. It's very easy to let the short-term problems take up your time, and to where you don't work on the long-term important things. I think this could probably be true in relationships, probably in a lot of areas of life, really. Even in health, probably. It's much easier to work on maybe to get the Band-Aids than it is to put in the work for the sustainable long-term health type of thing. Anyways, that's the interesting thought for the day is, are your short-term problems sabotaging your long-term success? And by the way, long-term success, Jesus said basically that, okay, this is going to be a very, very rough paraphrase, but if you're smart, you're going to be storing up treasure in heaven. Now that is what I call long-term planning there.